Hi, I'm Words here, and I'm a goddamn genius. No. Hi, I'm Words here, and I'm making a game, and this is the game, and it is buggy. So I'm gonna fix that right now. Right now. It's giving the opposite of what it is I wanted for this direction bit. So obviously I just need to flip it around. I need to flip it. Or something. I don't know. Because it's giving the wrong answer. Because the point direction is supposed to give me, that function is supposed to give me the angle going from one side to the other. Well, obviously I got it flipped around, because if this is flipped around, then this is flipped around. So I've just got to flip it around again. I got to flip it turnways, and we'll have a working game eventually. Derp, 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 derp. There we go. Derp de doo. And I just stole a catchphrase. And then, this'll work, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. No, it didn't work. It's giving me different answers depending on the thing. That's really weird. Okay, let's try it. Oops, wrong button. Okay, let's try, let's try something else. I don't know. It's better than it was. Why would it give me something like that? That's a weird answer. No. It should be going from... It should be giving me the angle from here to here. And that should be, obviously if, this is 0 degrees, and this should be 90 degrees, and that should be something, a little bit higher than that. And instead it's going to be like 400 something or something, or 300 something, something, something. That's not right. I want to see what it's just getting just like this, because sometimes you'll get some weird stuff with how this works. I just realized, wait, what? The second area is actually slanted the other way. But it's giving me this, even though it's giving me the message, even though it shouldn't be. I think it's slanted the other way, and it's still giving me the message when it gets over there, which it shouldn't. That shouldn't be the case. It's giving me. For one thing, the answer is changing, which doesn't make any sense, because it's two stationary points that I'm looking at. Look at that. Ah, got it. Oh my. This is all sorts of wrong. I thought I'd had this solved. I thought I had it licked. I thought I was going to be your Sherlock Holmes on this. I was going to explain everything, my dear Watson, and now I have no idea. I thought I'd flip it around, flip it turnways, and everything would be fine. It didn't work. I have so many other problems besides that. Because... Oh! God! Oh, no wonder it's giving me different answers. They're fixed. Don't worry about the answers of the icon brain. Don't worry. I've got this. I've got this. Don't panic. Don't panic. It's fine. Everything's okay. It's under control. Pretend you didn't see that. Interesting. So I do have... Now I have it flipped turned ways again. Don't I? Ah, because I was the dumb. I was all the dumb. There couldn't be any more dumb in my brain. Oh my. Okay. Oop. There, okay, yeah, there. Flipped it back around. The turn ways was wrong, it was all wrong. It had to be, back flipped ways is the way it ought to be. Now we're getting proper numbers, as you can see. As you can see. And actually that shouldn't be, the incline on that is, That's not working either. I think I've got that flipped around turnways as well. It's saying that the angle should be greater, but no, that's actually correct, isn't it? Why is it giving me a weird answer for that? It's trying to claim that that's 80 degrees or something? There's no way that's how big that is. Now I want to check this again. Oh, so much debugging. This has only been 5 minutes. This is going to be a great video. You'll see. I'll figure this out in like that, and it's going to be done, and I'm going to be doing something else. There's going to be like streamers or something. It's going to be awesome. There's just be great stuff. That's not the number I expected, though. So it's saying, okay, where's my problem? Where is my problem, child? I've got, I'm getting a weird number. For going from this node to that node, I'm getting 100 and something, like... Well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. Maybe it's more than 90, though. But that doesn't. See, because after that, I'm still getting something weird. Let me check. Let me check this. There. Let me check that again. I'm going to debug this again. Maybe I should pause, because this is getting kind of ridiculous. If this number showed, depending on what this number gives me, okay, it's saying 89. That means that it's taking this angle and subtracting out 90 and getting 89. So that means that, but that's not what that angle is. Maybe that's like this bit, more like it. So I guess maybe I should subtract out, get the absolute value and subtract out like 180 instead? I guess that is sort of what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to flip it. That doesn't make sense, though. Okay. Well, since that doesn't make any sense, but at least, hey, you can see him sliding around, so I'm going to pause this and I'm going to figure this out, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do something actually interesting. Okay, I nipped that in the bud. No, I didn't. That's actually, that metaphor doesn't work there, but I did in fact do a thing, so now I'm trying to, I've got this guy all angly, and he's exactly 30 degrees apparently, 30.03 actually. But my guy's not sliding. I don't remember what I set that to now. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Let's see, what did I tell it? 35. Ah, well, let's just lower it then. We'll say 20. There. Now it'll actually be, that'll be a slidey bit now, and I'll remove that other thing. Doop de doop de doo, where is it? Where I put it? Where is he? Okay. There he is. There's the message. Get rid of him so we can actually see what's going on. There. Now we should have a bit where you slide. See, it's slidey. It's making you slide. See, that's not actually quite what I want to happen. But I don't know. Maybe that's fine. Oop. It's actually kind of amusing. What I wanted it to do, and I don't know why I'm so dumb. Well, I mean, you know, we know that I'm dumb, but we don't know why. I need to actually, what I want to do is I want to move this whole thing. I'm going to move it upstairs. We're going to walk upstairs. We're going to go upstairs with this. We're going to say Control V. And what we're going to do is, instead of making it so that it affects your X position, we're going to so it affects your movement spud. Your movement spud. That way you gain momentum on an incline like that. And what we're going to also do, we're going to make it so that it affects your maximum speed. And that's actually a bit more tricky. I might have to move this above this too, above the actual keyboard bits, so that I can then tell it to, give you a corrected maximum speed based on, yeah. So we're gonna move this again. Doopa 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 moving, and then we're gonna actually give it a its own another variable called m. That's going to be your max speed. Maximum speed. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to multiply that by another variable that I forgot to put in. And that's called weight. Weight is what is going to affect your maximum speed on an angle. And actually what I'm going to do is, actually, come to think of it, I don't need to move that around to anywhere else. I think it'll work where it is, but I didn't actually need to move it there either. We're going to leave it where it is, I think, because I think it'll work. If they give us trouble up there, we'll move it again. But actually, we're actually changing something else here, because we actually have to say it doesn't matter what the angle is. I'm going to make it so that no matter the angle, if we're going to actually do the same sort of thing up here as up here. We're going to copy this. We're going to paste it down here, because what we're going to do is no matter the angle, even if it's not beyond the sliding bit. The sliding bit has nothing to do with this. This is actually your max speed based on the angle of the incline. It'll be slightly increased on slight downward angle, and greatly increased on greater downward angle. So we're doing the exact same thing, but we're getting rid of this bit, and all we're going to do is we're going to say, because this is happening, well, this only happens if you're on the ground. Oh yeah, I don't need to copy and paste that bit, do I? Because it's the same situation. You're on the ground, this is like that, and then, oh yeah, okay. So then we're going to ignore that part, but we're going to say m equals max speed plus actually, yeah, come to think of it, doesn't matter either way there. Yeah. So what we're going to say is m equals max speed. We're going to add we're going to add the basically the same sort of thing. We're going to say d. We're not going to do the minus thing. We're going to actually say d divided by 90, which should work out. And we're going to multiply by weight, what I just added in. I called it weight because I couldn't think of a good name for it. So there we go. And then wherever it checks max speed, we're going to change that to just m. So that's looking at your corrected max speed for the incline. So your max speed increases on an incline, or decreases if you're going back up it. Just for funsies, really. It's all for funsies. Are you having funsies? Because I'm having funsies. Okay, so anyway, having done that, I also need to make it so that that actually has to happen first, which it can't, because, okay. Well, that's fine. I'll just assume it went either way, and I'll say this. If speed is greater than max speed, now I'm not sure, like, because I thought about making it so that what I thought about making it do was if your max speed was greater, if your actual speed was greater than your max speed, then you would actually, like, rather than just snapping you back to it, I would make it so it slows you down to it, which is actually probably better anyway. Yeah. And considering, and I was thinking about making do was I was going to make it so it was infinite. Your speed would increase infinitely with if you're not, as long as you're not pressing a direction, but that doesn't make sense. So yeah, because it would then you'd be better off not pressing a button sometimes, or not pressing the direction button, which you would think you would be running, and you would therefore be moving faster, in fact, than if you hadn't been. Which is why I was actually thinking about making it so that m was actually your max speed just on this, as long as you're not pressing a button. Which actually gives me an idea. I could actually make a Boolean that keeps track of whether or not you're on a slant enough to, slide. And then make it so that it doesn't, because right now, as long as you're not pressing a button, it slows you down. Aha! Interesting. I do need to put this, okay, here's what I need to do. I need to make it so that if, this stuff only needs to happen if you're, this is where you're slowing down if you're not pressing a button, but this doesn't happen, this shouldn't happen if you're, on a slant, if you're on a sliding slant, on a slidey slant, so, because right now, I don't know if what exactly it's going to do. Can't really tell yet. See, you're not moving. And I can tell you why. It's because of what I just told you. The thing that I just said. All those words. Remember those words? That was important. It says here that as long as you're not holding a button, it shouldn't. You'll slow down. And up here, it's trying to speed you up. And they're counteracting each other. I think that's what's going on. So I had to actually fix this up so that it doesn't work like that. So we're gonna make another one called A. just because we're going to say that first off A is false, but then if on a slidey slanty slant, I'm going to say is true. And then down here where it does all this stuff, we're going to say else if if not A. We're going to do this part first. And actually, if it is on a slidey slant, we're going to have to make it... Well, first off, let's test this bit, because I want to make sure that you should now move instead of not. If you don't, then I've done something else wrong. And that's just another problem we're going to have to fix. Oh, an unknown variable m. Oh, because if you're not on the ground, that doesn't happen. Let's just for now say m equals max speed. There, that won't happen now. But our problem was, I have a few problems here actually. I have a couple, because for one thing, I do in fact, I clearly need to change that, because it was that was wrong. When you slide down like that, you kind of pop off in this direction. I'd rather you kind of slid, went that way, in this direction. So I might need to figure something out like that. But this works pretty much exactly how I wanted it to. Although, obviously this might be a, I don't know if you'd actually slide quite that much on that slant. But it's the basic idea of it. Okay, so that's interesting. You hit the wall, you kind of, I can hold myself up there, and my momentum. I'll have to fix that, but that's a completely different problem. We're going to worry about something else completely right now. Oh, let's see. For one thing, I don't want you to actually have. I want your max speed to actually be lower if you're not holding a button. And so what we're going to do is we're going to say speed is greater than this. So we're going to actually make another variable. Yet another variable, I know. We're going to say, we're going to call it max slow, which sounds odd. It's going to be the speed at which you slow down to match your max speed. And what we're going to do is we're going to say if your speed is, so here where your speed is less than your maximum, your negative maximum speed, which means you're going to the left faster than your maximum speed. And actually, I should make where did I put that? There it is. Where it says m blah blah blah. Well, I guess wait here. We're gonna make one more variable up here. and you'll see why later. I'll explain this one in a minute. I'll explain later. There, alright. W for wait. Okay, anyway. Where was I? Yes, where it says you're moving to the left too fast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, instead of doing, setting it to your max speed, I'm going to say max slow speed. Well, what am I thinking? Yeah, plus equals, because obviously you're less. And then if speed is greater than -m. So now this way it will snap to it if you, because otherwise you'll be, constantly kind of toggling around it if I don't do this. But so I'll have to make it, it does have to snap eventually once you actually pass it while slowing down, if that's possible. Right now I said it slows you down at 1, so at 1 point per step. So that's not actually possible. It'll obviously slow down to it and then stop, but we're going to still put this in case I change that number. There. I'm going to have to do the same thing for here, where your max speed is too big. Whoa. Why did that end up? Oh, I forgot that part. Right there. Okay, anyway. And instead we're going to subtract that. This is just the plus, and there. Fixed. So now you slow down like that, and then we have to make it so that if we're going to do the same exact thing when you're on a slant and you're not pressing a button, but we're actually going to change what the max speed is. We're going to do the same thing here. Copy and paste, and if your speed is greater, then instead of M, we're going to say W. That way, you don't speed off down a hill if you're not pressing any buttons. But you'll be able to if you do press a button. So that it'll be a little bit less ridiculous. Now we're going to do else if speed is less than -W. Do the exact same thing. Right there, or except for plus, greater, negative, negative. Done. Any second now. So you don't shoot off. And I need to actually change this around a little bit. I'm going to have to change this level a little bit more to make it so that, to really illustrate, what is you can do here, because obviously it's hard to tell, but your max speed is greater going down this hill than up. As you can actually kind of see that, just a teensy bit. But what I need to make it so that this connects to a flat bit, so that you can see your character going super fast and then slowing down when he hits something else, because that's, you're not really seeing that here. I am having trouble though, because your max speed seems to be able to. I guess it's not actually slowing you down fast enough, so like, because the slant's enough that it's actually not slowing down quite enough. As you're, because obviously it's also fighting against gravity here when it's trying to slow you. The friction is, the gravity is basically like at the angle this is at, essentially gravity is overcoming friction. So if I give myself a little nudge, I kind of shoot down it without having to press the button, hold the button down. See, I'm just tapping the button and then I slide down super fast, which is fine, I guess. It just means I have to tweak the numbers, but essentially this is working. This is it working exactly how I want it to. I'd like to get, I'm going to pause for a minute, I'm going to try to set this level up a little bit differently so we can see a little more. And I'd wanted to go ahead and get to where it was a bigger level with it panning to follow the character, so that I could really show off some of the stuff. Next time I'm definitely going to go ahead and I might start by fixing the jumping, because right now it's still shit, and I said I was going to fix that, and I didn't, because I thought of doing this. But, yeah. So, I guess subscribe if you like sliding around like an idiot. You should like if you like gravity. You should also like if you like friction. You should dislike if you are poopy. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah. Bye, I guess. Bye.